Dollemocracy. Facing down pessimistic politics with realistic optimism.
Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's back in the news. She has a YouTube channel. Fellow YouTubers. Hey, Megyn.
You know, it's so strange that she's doing the Carrie Lake thing with the soft, out-of-focus filter on her face. And she did an interview with Trump where she did the same thing, but like she doesn't have a video crew. Like he was even out of focus.
Well, yeah.
Right?
So I mean,
this is the least point of criticism to have about it, but it's just very weird to me.
As you can see, I'm struggling to respond because I don't have a lot to say about that.
It's not important. It's just something that is just like, what? You come out of real heavyweight productions, and then, did you use your iPhone to film what are you doing?
Yeah. No, I guess my mind just went to like what inevitably happens in the comments of your videos when women are talked about. And I think Democrats sometimes think they're immune from the misogyny that we all kind of inherently walk around with. And they'll talk about even Democrats that they respect, like if they step out of line, they'll talk about them being on their knees or how they got that job.
Yeah.
And
that's not what I'm saying.
I know you didn't say that. You're talking about the filter and the soft focus and the Carrie Lake.
More the out of blur, the blur thing.
Okay, the blur.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not being sexist or misogynist. It's she comes from major productions, Fox News, NBC, and now she's doing her own thing with YouTube, and then I guess she has a Sirius XM show. But you would expect a higher production value. I guess that's what I'm saying, albeit fumbling.
Yes, okay. The soft focus thing just had me... I don't know.
No,
okay.
Good. I like being called out. And in real time, it's good.
Yeah, so moving along. And Megyn Kelly sat down with Donald Trump, which is surprising, of course, because Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump have a long history of not getting along. And starting from that debate question that she asked him, I think in 2016, about the comments that he's made about women in the past, which she now seems to have a different opinion on, because she did this little thing where she kind of talked about the behind the scenes of the Donald Trump interview in a video on her YouTube channel. And she actually called his response to that question a good answer now, when he said that it was only Rosie O'Donnell that he called like an ugly pig or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, it was a good answer. It got a lot of great traction from the audience. Who cares if it got a good traction from the audience?
Right.
Who cares what the audience thinks? The audience is full of
Donald Trump supporters.
I mean, people who don't respect women. Of course, they're going to cheer for that. So it's just weird, the complete transformation that she has, because she got a hefty payout from NBC.
$60 million.
She could not be constantly attacking trans people on her Twitter. She could not be constantly attacking black women on her Twitter. I mean, go take a look at her Twitter.
It could be Richard Spencer's Twitter, and you would not know.
I mean, she's constantly attacking black women, black people,
she hates
trans people.
Meghan Markle for some reason. I mean, it really is. Any black person, there's a problem when she talks about them.
Yeah. But listen, guys, she did a really good job with this interview with Donald Trump. There were hard-hitting questions. I mean, I'm sure you've heard, if you're watching mainstream media outlets on CNN, which I just watched a clip today, they said the old Megyn is back. The old Megyn is back. She was asking these hard-hitting questions. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So let's just hear from Megyn on how she feels it went with Trump.
I will tell you, from my perspective, I thought it went very well. I thought he did very well, and he withstood some tough questioning. I did not go easy on him. I didn't, like with DeSantis, the goal was not to emerge with Trump's jugular, as some would like to have seen. I thought it was fair, right? There were like some questions for him, some questions for me. And that's, I think, how it should go. There should be a good flow to any big interview, like with a former president. And I give him a ton of credit. I mean, you tell me, could Joe Biden have done that? Could he have done 5 minutes of that? Just 5 minutes. Never mind an hour and 20, or however long Trump and I were together. It was almost an hour and 20. He couldn't, and he wouldn't. And where is the mainstream journalist who will even ask him tough questions? Where are they?
Joe Biden wouldn't last 5 minutes with Megyn Kelly. Why? Because you're going to come away with his jugular? Idiot.
I mean, you guys, listen. She has a point, and I'm going to... chose this section specifically to illustrate just how tough this was for Donald Trump, you guys. It was not easy for him.
Haven't seen a lot of Melania lately. How's she doing? And how's Barron doing? Because I know he's senior in high school now.
Yeah, he is. He's doing really well. He's in school. She's doing very well. She's very strong, very even-keeled, and she's a very good woman, as you know. She was a very popular first lady. I mean, I go out to rallies and they have pictures of Melania with "We love our first lady" with so many posters, you know, where they're in the audience and they're, because we're getting big people. We had the biggest rallies we've ever had.
Can you believe they never put her on Vogue, on the cover of Vogue, and they just put Corinne Jean-Pierre in there?
I know, can you believe it? Can you believe it? She was on the cover of Vogue before she met me.
Yeah.
And during, but once I said I'm running for president, that was the end of the cover.
What's a typical dinner
It's,
like
by the
for
way,
you guys?
and it's so sad, because, but she doesn't care.
What's a typical dinner like?
Can you believe what he had to endure?
Listen, Joe Biden wouldn't have been able to handle 5 minutes of these tough questions, everybody. These are hard-hitting journalistic wonderkin. What are they doing? Come on.
It's remarkable, right? I mean, and
How is
listen.
Melania doing?
Yeah. What's dinner like? Can you believe they didn't put her on the cover of Vogue?
Isn't your youngest kid a senior in high school now? Wow.
Oh, my God.
Megyn, get it together, sister. What are you doing? Also, by the way, to back up what we just said about attacking black women, she's talking about the press secretary for Joe Biden being on the cover of Vogue,
right,
and how that is a travesty,
right,
when Melania, the white woman, wasn't on during Trump's presidency.
Yeah. Yes. So basically the question is, can Joe Biden sit down with a Biden sycophant and handle questions about Jill not being on the cover of Vogue? Is that Megyn's question? Like, if we're framing her original question, that is Joe Biden, he wouldn't be able to handle those questions about Jill being on Vogue. And how is Dr. Jill Biden? Which, of course, Megyn Kelly does not want said in her presence.
That was her. That's right.
Yes. So, of course, Megyn Kelly would say there were hard-hitting questions, quote unquote, and there were moments where she held his feet to the fire. But what I worry about with the media saying that the old Megyn, this is the return of the old Megyn, is that there is no old Megyn.
Yeah.
Megyn, we have learned, has always been this way. And I used to like Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why. I think maybe I did think she was a strong woman who asked tough questions, and maybe I have grown in ways personally that have allowed me to see how problematic she really was.
There was some blind spot there, you think?
Possibly, yeah.
And for me too, because I also, you know, there was a time that I even thought Bill O'Reilly wasn't as pernicious as he actually was. I never thought he was great, but it's blind spots. People have blind spots.
Yeah, and I do think it is full mask off now with constantly attacking trans people, constantly attacking black people on her Twitter.
And viciously, not like encoded language. She is just, like you said, mask off. It's hood on Megyn Kelly.
Well, and she tries to act like a journalist, but I mean, think of the journalists that are in the prime time nightly spots. They don't follow their interview with a breakdown and say, could Joe Biden handle me? No, he couldn't because he's senile.
Right.
Like, you're not a journalist.
She's also anti-COVID vaccine. She has just poured herself, you know, water finds the lowest spot. She's just poured herself into that grift space, just taking up every single position that's the worst of the right. Yeah.
So disappointing, and she's changed her opinion on Donald Trump quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So, but she's not alone in that. A lot of Republicans have done that.